In this session, let's look at WebDriver methods. These methods are also known as browser methods because they are commands that are performed on the browser. Let's start by writing driver equals web, my typing ain't going good so far, WebDriver dot capital C for Chrome, open and closing parentheses. Within the parentheses, let's write ChromeDriverManager, open and closing parentheses again. Then we write install with two more parentheses, open and closing. Do you see the red lines under WebDriver and ChromeDriverManager? In order to continue, we must import. There are two ways to import. We can manually write the import statement or let the IDE import for us. In the last session, I manually wrote both statements from Selenium. We import WebDriver. Now we see WebDriver no longer has a red line. This time I will let PyCharm import by hovering the red line under ChromeDriverManager, then select the link to import. At this point, we have two import statements. Either way is okay. Now, we have access to Chrome by this statement. So when I run, we see a blank screen on the Chrome browser. Notice the window is restored down. That means the window is not maximized. Let's go back to the IDE. Then type driver.window. And we see a lot of methods from WebDriver. The M in front of each name lets us know these are methods. We also see a P in front of some of the names. The P identifies a property decorator which defines three types of methods: a getter method, a setter method, and a deleter method. Window handles and current window handle are getter methods because they return a window handle. We can maximize a window, minimize the window, make the window full screen. Also, we can set the window size by passing in a width and height. Let's maximize the window and run again. Now the window is maximized. We can load a page by writing driver.get. In this session, we're going to use an application called the Internet. It has a lot of examples. I'm going to copy the URL and paste the URL in the get method by passing in the URL. So that's all we need to load a page. Now I'm going to run. And this time we see the page loaded and it was maximized. Now let's look at some more WebDriver methods. I'm going to type driver dot, how about the name of the browser. How about we also get the title of our application by writing driver.title. We see the URL is the internet.herokuapp.com. But if you wanted to get our URL from our test script, we can write driver.current URL. Let's print the browser, print the title, and also print the name. Print the name, title, and URL by passing in the methods to the print function. Print driver.name, print driver.title, and print driver.current URL. Now let's run. Yes, the page loaded and the console shows Chrome, which is the name of the browser, the Internet, which is the name of the title of the web page, and the URL. Okay, I just thought about something. When it comes to the URL, do you see how the URL does not include www dot? It's okay to not have www dot, but we must always include https colon and both forward slashes. If I remove https and a colon and forward slashes, watch what happens. The page do not load, but we will see an exception that says invalid argument exception. The same exception shows up if we add www dot, then run. A blank browser showed up and we see the same exception, invalid argument exception. Now let me go ahead and replace www dot with https and 2 forward slashes and run again to make sure it loads like we expect it to load. Bingo, the page loaded. Now we see all of that. At this point, we're going to look at some more WebDriver methods. But before looking at that, an interview question may ask, what is the difference between close and quit? They both are WebDriver methods and both close the web browser. The difference is the close method only closes one window, and that's the current window. The quit method closes all windows and quits the driver. Also, both methods return different notes in the console. Let's say we wrote our test script in a bad way by writing driver.close. Then driver.delete all cookies. This is not a good way because we write our test script with driver.close, or driver.quit should always be the last method. But this way we're going to write it before the last method and run. We see invalid session ID exception. The console returns invalid session ID exception because it was closed before trying to delete all cookies. Now let's change close to driver.quit and run. The console shows Chrome, the internet, and it shows the URL. But give me a few seconds and it's going to show also a different message. Yes, it failed to establish a new connection. That's the message we see after writing driver.quit. Let me go back and remove, delete all cookies and run again. Now I prefer driver.quit because it closes all windows. And driver.quit shuts down the ChromeDriver when it started the ChromeDriver. So that's it for WebDriver methods, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next session.